I was just watching a TV commercial of all things, but on the internet, and I'm in a massive transition in my life at the moment. And we all go through these transitions, right? We all go through these different transitions essentially. And the commercial was about. It was a Christmas commercial. It was about connection. It was about bringing family together. And the essence of it, I'll actually post it later on. But the essence of it was that we're just too busy. We've all got these lives that we're too busy to actually connect and see each other and feel each other and love each other and spend time with those that we actually care about. And so the last probably couple of weeks, I've been really feeling a lot of sadness because I'm very blessed. I live in California. I have various homes around the world, I would say. I have a home in Greece where my family is. I have home in Perth, Western Australia, in Fremantle, Western Australia, where my family and closest friends are. And I have my beautiful wife and our friends here in California. We're making another move. We're moving to Austin, Texas next year. But we've got to get out of this amazing home that we're in now. And there's just a lot of sadness. There's a lot of sadness around that. There's a lot of sadness, and it's bringing up more sadness. So that happens sometimes where, especially if you allow yourself to feel, and I definitely allow myself to feel, it brings up more sadness. It brings up the sadness and the loss of my grandparents, and the fact that they're not physically here on this earth anymore. I was very close with them and to them. It brings about the distance that I feel between my loved ones, and that can be really, really hard. And if you allow yourself to feel and you don't actually numb yourself and you don't avoid, it can be really painful. And so I've chosen to not numb and not avoid, and to really be present to these feelings of sadness, and also not to get caught up in the cycle of it. And I know that it's impermanent. And I know that it's coming up for a reason. I have this tremendous sense of loss. It's also teaching me something. It's a growth point for me and a growth edge for me, that with loss there's gain, because that's the universal dynamics, right? It's how we live. It's our reality. And so where there's loss, there's gain. Where there's gain, there's loss. And to not necessarily interpret it or taint it with a particular emotion or a judgment of good or bad, but just to be with it. And so there's just a lot of pain at the moment, a lot of sadness. And I saw this commercial and it brought tears to my eyes in so many levels. I thought to myself, wow, I mean, that's something that I'm missing, is that tribe, and because I've been so accustomed to having it for so much of my life. There's that tribe. And I want to just really reiterate the importance of tribe and the importance of connection and being connected to human beings that you value and that you love and that see you and that you see them, and make time for them, make time for each other, make time to connect, make time to bond. Because every time you prioritize an abstract task over deep and meaningful connection, is another time that you're distancing yourself away from the potential of your humanity. And I love that. And I love acknowledging that. I don't have many regrets with particularly my grandparents who I love so dearly, loved and love so dearly, about not being with them and not seeing them. And I really miss them. And I don't know. I mean, I often ponder that. I often ponder that's part of the human condition. And it's interesting. I have accepted my own death to some degree, to the best I can with where I am now. And I think I've done actually very deliberate work around that. And I've accepted the death of my loved ones as well. And having that, not having that immediate contact and that sharing of affection, it's just a memory. Whereas it's not something that I can access on a physical level on a day-to-day or when I want. There's some real pain in that. And I wonder if we ever, as human beings, are able to shift that and move beyond that. And the pain shifts with time. Time is a healer of things. And the more deliberate we are with how we heal ourselves and grieve and allow ourselves to feel, then that over time it plays a pretty important role. And I just wonder if we're ever able to really not ever feel that sadness. You know what that sadness feels like? It's a heaviness, and I mean the sadness I feel at the moment, it's not a despair. It's just a really deep sadness, but I'm also so grateful for my life. I don't have any guilt for feeling the sadness. I think I moved beyond that. And sometimes we get caught in that paradox of, well, my life is so amazing, why am I sad? Well, because sadness is also a basic human emotion. It's one of the core four, and it's also really, really important for us to allow ourselves to feel sad and let that move through our bodies and let that move through our minds. I think we don't do that enough in life. I think we don't let that sadness flow through us and move through us. It becomes really painful. I think the opportunity is to really appreciate who's in our lives and who we are to people in our lives as well, and how much, not they rely on us in a codependent way, but how much we're social beings. If not that, then what are we? We're social beings, we're connected beings, and so can we give ourselves in that way? Can we allow ourselves to be seen and felt in that way? And can we see others for who they are? And can we make the time and create the space in our lives for that to really unravel and occur? Or do we just keep busying ourselves with abstract notions of what needs to be done in the world? And then we just feel exhausted and overwhelmed. And in that overwhelm, we have regret and resentment, guilt and pain and shame. And that just perpetuates on itself. And I don't mean to paint a completely dull and dark picture of the human condition, because it's not that, but that's what so many of us choose. We get stuck in that regret, and we just think, well, we don't know any better, we may as well stay here. And this is our place, this is our world, this is our life, this is what we need. We're better than that, we're more than that. And I know that, and I feel that with everything that I am. And a big part of why I'm here in this planet is to really give. And I don't want to give at the expense of my intimate connections either. And there's a balance point there, right? Where there's this deep service. Sometimes so many of us are pulled towards, especially you entrepreneurs out there, but also light workers and healers and people that are just really connected to their service and to their hearts and wanting to make impact, and needing to balance that with the importance of that deep, deep human connection. And it's interesting, for me, it's like this sadness of leaving this beautiful home, this beautiful surrounding in California. And I'll be back to California, of course, but just not being here, quote unquote, permanently. And the sadness of that, it's bringing up sadness. I'm very blessed. I'm about to go to Australia in 2-3 weeks, and I'm going to be with my friends, like my closest friends and family, and my brother for, about a month. And I'm also now sad that I have to leave them again. And I'll see them again within a few months to a year, but they're not going to be in that really close proximity, and that hurts. That hurts, and I wonder, the importance of, how much importance do we place on that as a society, and just the power that we have access to when we allow ourselves to really feel, and the power that we have access to when we allow ourselves to really connect and really be seen by our loved ones and see our loved ones as well, and create the space in our world for that, without the excess of superficial and the surface, the excess, the extreme of that. So make time and space, create space for those that you love and care for. Let them see you in all that you are. Let's start getting more offline, less online, more offline. It's a bit of a paradox here as well. Power and blessings to you, beautiful people.